Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dylan with Vyper Industrial, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble the X32 cart. As you open up your box, you'll see a ton of goodies in there. We got the legs, we got the panel, big wheels, bolts, handles, brackets. We got the rubber liner, and we got the panels over here. It's a big cart. There's a lot of bolts to it. Let's get it started. All right guys, as you get started in step number one, we want to grab the panel that has Vyper cut into the side panel. That's the panel with the holes on the bottom for the casters, and this is going to be the bottom piece. As we look through our hardware bags here, we are going to need these guys here, the 5/16 nuts, the square washers, and the small 1/2-inch carriage bolts. We're going to start by putting 3 of the uprights onto the base, and you're going to want to install these in a manner. You'll see that there's a bottle opener up on top. You want that towards the top of your cart. Obviously you don't want to be bending over to open up your favorite beverage, right? So starts with a carriage bolt from the outside, washer, and then a flange nut. Spin it on. Guys, we're gonna get all these started by hand, and we're just gonna leave them loose for now. We'll come back through and tighten everything up once everything's all attached. So I'm gonna go through and get these all started here. All right guys, now that you have the 3 uprights attached to the base of the chair, or excuse me, the cart, I'm gonna move this out of the way. We're gonna wanna strategically make sure you have a nice big area to put this together too. I don't have that right here, so bear with me. We're gonna wanna turn it sideways like so, and grab one of your other panels here and slide it in the middle, and repeat the step: carriage bolt, washer, nut. All right guys, now that the middle panel is installed, we're gonna go ahead and install the top panel of the cart. So one cool thing I'd like to note about this is, if you'd like the top panel on your cart to be a tray, you wanna orientate it this way, or you can flip it over. If you want it to be a flat surface with no sides, you can orientate it this way. For our purpose today, I'm just gonna put it as a tray. So I'll put it this way. And like we did on the last 2 panels, we gotta go around and insert all the bolts, washer, nut, all the way around. All right guys, now that the top panel is installed, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the ground. I'm gonna flip it upside down so we can install the casters and put the final upright on. So bear with me, I'm gonna move this. Remember that this is upside down yet, so we wanna put this final upright on. Remember, the bottle opener is to the top of the cart. Being upside down, that is gonna be downward in this instance. And like you did before, we're gonna go around and put all the bolts in. However, I do wanna note, we do wanna keep these 4 holes, these 4 slots empty right now. Don't put any bolts in those. Those are going to be for the handle in the upcoming steps. So like before, carriage bolt, washer, nut. All right guys, now that we got the final upright installed, we are going to go ahead and move to the next step, and we are going to install the casters onto the bottom of the cart. So as you notice, we got 2 rigid casters and we got 2 locking casters here. And you're gonna want to use the big 3/8 nuts and the corresponding 3/8 button head screws here. So for this one, you do want to kind of note on where you intend on putting the handle, and whether or not you want the handle on the side with the swivel casters or on the side with the rigid casters. Personally, I like to put the handle on the side with the swivel casters. So it's kind of like, would move like a forklift, right? Opposed to a shopping cart, and then put the rigid casters on the side without the handle. So this is the side I have my handle going on. This is the side I want to install the swivel casters. Go ahead and get these started. Remember, everything is loose. I didn't go through and tighten anything up yet. Just personal preference, I like to have the grease zerk facing outwards. All right, guys, on all of our products, you'll notice that all of our hardware is zinc coated, and we do that for a reason. We don't want the hardware to corrode and rust over time. You'll also notice that all of our hardware is either grade 5 or grade 8. We'll never use anything less than that. We want our hardware to hold up and not strip out and be quality, easy to assemble. So that's why we use nothing but the best for all of our hardware on all of our products. Okay guys, now that the bolts are attached and the casters are attached to the bottom of the cart, we can go ahead and tighten all these caster bolts down right away. We're going to want to use this guy with our 9/16 socket, 7/32 hex key, and 9/16 socket. All right, guys, the casters are now tightened to the base of the cart. We are ready to go to the next step, and we're gonna flip this thing back over on its wheels. This is where you're gonna want a helper to help you get this thing back upright. All right, guys, now that we have the cart upright back on its wheels, we are gonna move on to step number 5 here, and we're gonna install the handle. So if you remember before, I mentioned to keep these bolts out so that we can install a handle there. We're gonna go ahead and do that now. You're gonna need your tube, these big 1/2-inch bolts, the expansion anchors, and the 4 5/16 nuts, and then the last 2 parts, the handle brackets. What we want to do is, you'll notice that these anchors are, one side is not threaded, one side is threaded. We're going to want to stick the bolt through the handle, into the anchor, and just that it gets started onto the, and tap it in there. Now that both the anchors are in, they're still loose, I just have them finger tight. We can go ahead and attach it to the side of the cart, right? So let me get this bag open here. You'll notice that there are no washers left over. We don't need any washers, square washers for this step. All right, and what we're gonna wanna do is tighten the handle up now. We're gonna take our, I believe it's 5/16, and tighten up the handle. So we don't want to go too crazy because those anchors are, expansion anchors are super strong. They will deform the tube if you go too tight. And just go tight enough so that you can feel it gets tight and that the handle doesn't turn on you. So we're good there. Now for the fun part, we have to go through and tighten all the bolts. So grab your favorite beverage, turn on your favorite song, and let's go through and tighten up all the bolts. All right, guys, now that we went through and tightened everything up, we are on the final step, and that's just simply putting in the rubber mats. So we include these with the cart. You obviously don't have to use them if you don't want to, but it's a great feature to keep your tools from clanking around and keep them in place on the panels here on the shelves. So go ahead and put the rubber mats in. It's a perfect fit. They look great. All right, and the last step is the accessory panel. So guys, this is the super cool feature about this cart. This panel hooks right onto the right onto the slots on the side of the cart. And if you visit our website at vyperindustrial.com, we have tons of cool accessories that you can attach and fit this cart and set it up exactly how you want it, customize it for your job, exactly what you're working on. It's super cool. Lots of cool features, lots of cool things you can do with this cart. And we know you guys are gonna like it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please hit us up at sales@vyperindustrial.com or drop us a line 920-301-3822. Thanks, guys.